Hello, everyone, and welcome to today, 108 days, day 6. Today, we are stepping into the next layer of creating ourselves. So we're going through the it's like a rebirth process with Phoenix Rising. Yesterday we spoke about the fire. Today it's all about focusing and creating the space where you can actually change something. So we created the vision. Where do we want to go? And then we created the 11 list. Because if we don't know where we're going, there's a saying says, if you don't change your direction, you might end up where you're going. So the reason why we say that is because you might just end up in things, in places. It's like floating around a little bit. So today we're going to bring it home and really talk about multidimensional detox, because when we set our intention of changing something, the reason why we don't have it already is because there's not enough space. So manifestation happens 24/7. What you have in your life, the situations, the people, the material things, the projects, the creativity, everything is a result of the state of your being. It's the current state of your internal being is directly mirrored to your external life. So when we want to change the external life, we need to change something in the internal. It's like, okay, I want to change my career. I want to go and be a graphic designer. Okay, I got to learn graphic design. Or I want to be a massage therapist. I'm going to learn the skill of being a massage therapist. So that means I'm changing something. I'm upgrading myself. And to be able to do that training, I can't have other things I'm doing in that same day. It's like if I'm going to do a training that is 2 weeks and I have a current job, then okay, I got to take some time off for that job to be able to do the thing. Because we all have one body, we all have 24 hours, we all need to sleep, we all need to eat, we all need to have some sort of creative output. And that is why it's so important that we make space for the new to enter. It's this saying, close one door and another one will open. So it's about what is it that we are holding, what is it that we're focusing on, and what is it that we invite into our lives. So I was going to talk about people pleasing today, but I want to do this first. So I will talk about the people pleasing later, because the people pleasing is one of the reasons why we are not doing what we really want. So the whole point is to be in so deep connection with the self, what you want, what you are doing, why are you here, what is my creative output, and what lights my soul on fire. Because it's when we are not living in full truth and alignment of who we are and what we want to do, that the body starts to go into. Let's say we're at a job that we really dislike, then the body starts to dissociate from itself to be able to cope with being in that space for such a long time. And that's when we start to push ourselves into the nervous system and a very high level of stress in the body. This is the freeze response. I think we will go through the nervous system at some point as well. And then we start to, then we're in the freeze response, and the body starts to shut down in different aspects. So when we are not aligned with what we truly want, and I am very well aware that most people on this planet aren't able to do exactly what they want. I mean, I can't do what I want 100% either. So it's about but there is still so much that we can do in the internal, and then we start to change who we are on the inside and stuff. We remember who we are. So it's like a remembrance more than a becoming. But I'm not as rigid with saying remember or becoming, because it's, yeah, I don't put my focus on the wording like that. So in order to make a change, we need to be as close as what we want and what is possible for us as we can, because then it's more aligned, or more, how to say, the odds are more in your favor, if you say like that. Because when we do something that we really want, it becomes sustainable. So the reason why the New Year resolutions and the things that we decide that doesn't last. So if I say that, so one of my things that I'm going to do for this year is I'm going to get in really good shape. So I'm using the 108 days for this. So that is, so I'm doing a multidimensional detox in order to become the person, or remember who I am. Because as soon as I go back into the exercise, I start to remember, oh, this feels good, and I start to remember, and I come back to a version of myself that I know that I have. So it's all about getting messages here. I'm going to turn the phone. So the multidimensional detox is about creating the space for the transformation to actually occur. And if the transformation is deeply rooted in something that we actually want, then it's more likely that it will become sustainable. But the trick is to find a way that really and fully aligns with what I want. So this is where the people pleasing and peer pressure and other beautiful phenomenons in the world comes in, where we are straying away from what we really want. So it's about knowing exactly what you want and why you want it, and having that rooted in a sustainable process, and then doing the multidimensional detox in order to give space for the new reality to arrive. But then we have to do it in a way where we allow the body to lead. And that's where the truth comes in, and that there are multiple truths that can be available. So whatever works for other people might not work for you. So Phoenix Rising is all about awakening the connection with the physical body, because the physical body will tell you exactly what it needs, what it wants, how it wants to do things. It's so intelligent, and it's extraordinarily more intelligent than the mind. But we allow the mind, and we also let other people's opinions, influences, and things like that to affect us and override. Because somewhere along the line we were told that I don't know this, so I should listen to someone else. So I could talk about a little bit so there's different layers to the multidimensional detox. So this is where so we're all different. So we all need to declutter and detox in different areas of our lives. And some of these areas will be they will speak more to some than others. So your job is to just listen to your intuition. When I speak about these topics, you can bring your notebook and you just take the topic, and then you make a couple of notes, and then you rate it instantly between 1 to 10. So as I go through the different areas, you take a couple of notes or mental notes, and you write down how much do I need this? So if you're at a 1, you don't need to focus on this a lot. If you get a 10, you're like, okay, I really need to focus here. So there are 9 areas. And then when I'm done, you will see where the numbers are higher, the highest ones. And this is where you need to focus in order to give new space for what it is you want, and how can you make space for the 11 list. So you look at the 11 list, and then you take the areas and you look at, okay, where do I need to make space in my life in order for this new reality to occur. So the physical one is the body layer, the physical layer, the area number 1. So this is where we go into food and sleep and exercise and all of these things. It's about finding a rhythm in your life. It's like irregular schedules instead of like steady, like recurring things that happens in flow with who you are. Too much stimulation. Maybe it's like a hormonal load where you are doing too much caffeine or sugar. I mean, we all know that we should eat in a certain way, but we are not. Maybe you're doing that. Maybe you're not tending to your sleep as much as you feel like your body is asking for. These are massive. So this is where people can do a lot of shifts. And also the physical exercise, or physical, taking care of the physical. So like fascia work, exercise, moving, doing like cardiovascular work, like, and always really rooting it into what is it that the body actually wants, and what is going to make room for the new reality. So the second one is the nervous system layer, and this is going to be huge in this fire year. So what you need to consider here in the nervous system layer is if you're under constant urgency, or if you are multitasking all the time, if you constantly have background noise, if you're never in silence, or if you're never connecting with nature, like a lot of doom scrolling or kind of crisis, like consuming any kind of material to kind of numb or maintain or handle some sort of crisis, or that you're being on all the time. So this is creating overwhelm in the system. And if we are in that state, then it's almost impossible for the body to make any kind of change or transitions. So the third layer is the emotional layer. So this is where the people pleasing comes in. If we are constantly giving of ourselves to others, if we have a lot of unexpressed emotions, if we are carrying a lot of suppressed emotions, or unprocessed events, or all of these feelings are connected in the body, and it's stored in the body and comes up as pain, or different habits, or different way of expressions. So if you feel like, and here, I mean, this is one of the main reasons for, well, the 3 first ones actually is the main reason why I moved to Thailand in the first place, because my nervous system, I was absolutely burnt out. I was, my physical health was just plummeting, and my nervous system and my emotional state was, I was just unable to, I was just not in a good space. I never learned really to express and talk about how I felt, and I really had to grow up in these areas. Or if you have an old emotional contract, like I should feel like was a huge one for me. I should feel happy. I should be like this. And that just doesn't work. we can't just force ourselves to become something else. We actually have to look at why is it like this in the first place. So that's the third one, like allowing emotions to move and allowing the duality of life to fluctuate. So if we are not able to do that, it's very difficult for the body to make any kind of big transitions in life if we really want to upgrade our life. So the fourth one is mental layer. So this is about being in your head too much. If we are constantly living by logic, if we're constantly living by in planning. I was living in my calendar. I think I said that at some point. I was that was my coping mechanism to when I was stressed, I looked in the calendar, because then I was like, okay, I got everything on. It's like control. So the mental and the control is a nervous system and somatic response, because the body is living in fear. So it's not something that we do wrong, but if we are in that state, it becomes very difficult for us to make a sustainable change, because we are locked in by very limiting belief systems. And the way that we see the belief system should be that anything is possible, that there is no hindrance, there's no layers that is blocking us. And when we have limiting belief system, it's almost like I used to describe it as it creates like a glass ceiling, and limiting belief, it creates like a line and then a hook. So it's like it blocks the possibility of it's just your whole being becomes blocked. That's the best way I can describe it. So if you're just consuming a lot and never giving the body to this break, to we have to silence the mind. And that's why Phoenix Rising is so much about silence and connecting with the self and spending time with oneself, no matter how it feels. Because there's nothing wrong in how you feel. It's just the mistake we make is our reaction and our judgments to the way that we are feeling, and what we believe is to be true about the feeling, and how it needs to be met and processed. And all of this is things that the body knows how to do, and that's why people say that it's a remembrance. Okay, so the fifth area is the energetic layer. So this is old roles and identities, and it's like leaking energy in different ways, different energetic cords that is connected to other people, situations. There's a lot in here that is inherited down by the family line. So everyone has different things that we do in our family tree, which is so we inherit the trauma, we inherit the positive traditions, we inherit all the good and the bad. And that's where the duality comes in, that it's we need to kind of identify and be curious about how is this affecting me. And there's our energetical layers there. And then this number 6 is the relational and the social layer. And like, who do you hang out with? Where do you spend your time? Who are requiring your attention? Where are you performing? Where are you playing charades? Like, where are you in deep, really beneficial relationships where they are balanced, and where you can be yourself, and you have support and you give support? And like, where is there a balanced what do you call it, exchange of in the relationship. So where are you? So this is not about like excluding everyone, even though that's what I did. I just left and I had to just be by myself 100%. So the first year I was like not on social media very much. I mean, for the first 3 months, I just removed everything and lived in the jungle and just be by myself. And then, yeah, the first year before we started the business was, and then even after that, we have really removed a lot. And then now we are bringing things in again. So it's more about, this is not what everyone has to do, but it's like we need to do a relational detox as well. Like where, maybe there's just a few things, or maybe there's a lot of things. I don't know. You know. And the seventh is the environmental layer. Like, is your place messy? Is it, do you need to clean out your closet? Do you need to clean out the garage? Do you have projects that are unfinished, and that, like, where do we have things that are open and not closed? So it's like, do I own too many things? Like, do I have too many things going on in my computer, in my different files? Like, we all know, this is actually one that I'm doing right now, is we're cleaning out a lot of things, and we're doing a lot of shifts also in the digital space, which is really powerful. And then the number 8 is the creative area. So this is where you are, and this is why we talked about, it's very important that this is rooted in something that you really like, really love. So if your creative field is not nourished, then that's going to affect you a lot. Like, do you have a productive, not productive, do you have an expression for your creative? And that doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be art, it's just, where do you express? And that could be, I mean, that's how we started having jobs, like, I'm a shoemaker, or I create furniture. It's like, you have a creative outlet for a need that someone else has, because I can't make a chair, so you can make a chair, and I can exchange something with you, or I buy something from you. So there, it in origin, it comes from an expression and creating something. That's why work can be extremely joyful, and for some it's awful. I mean, my mother is a midwife, and I mean, she loved her work since day one. She always loved going to work, and that was not the case for me. Sometimes I loved going to work, but there was plenty of times where I didn't. So it's like, where is my creative? And I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have any hobbies because my only hobby is the personal development. So I didn't think as that as a hobby. So I never did anything. So that has been a huge thing for me moving here, that I have, that I'm doing more things for myself. I never did that. So this creates guilt. This creates blocks. This creates energetic blockages in the body, and it's like not doing things because you like it, and doing things because you're good at them. And that's what I did. I only did things that I was good at. So if I was good at it, then I did it, and that gave me some sort of joy in the beginning, and then, because it wasn't what I really wanted to do, I didn't continue. And also suppressing any kind of play. So all of that is connected to the nervous system, the groundedness. That's where play comes out. Okay, number 9, the identity level. And this is about, again, belief systems, the stories about who you are, or it's just who I am, or not believing that you can actually become the person that you are supposed to become, or that you know. So I always knew that I was going to be this person. So for me, it's much more of a remembering than a becoming, because I know this. I know that I'm going to be in excellent shape. I know, because there's a feeling inside of me that I remember. I know this feeling. I know that it's possible. I know it's for me. But when I tried to get in really good shape, I was like, this is not it. This is not what I know is possible. So that's why I had to go on this exploration, these 10 years of exploration, and really going so deep into this whole being, every single layer. And now I'm like, now we're talking. Like, I had to do the multidimensional. So that's what I've been doing the past 9. So this is a 9-year cycle for me. So for 9 years, I've been doing multidimensional detoxing. I'm very good at this. So letting go of any, like, this is who I am. That is just absolute. Yeah, we have to open up for the change. So anything that is rigid, anything that keeps us in a position where we are not expanding ourselves all the time, or that we have the ability to expand, that is just not going to do it for us. So being willing to look at the things that are keeping me from experience. Why don't I have all the things on the 11 list already? Because you manifest exactly what you have based on who you are as a person. The emotional state, the nervous system state, the fascia state, the belief system state, the imprints from the family, what I was told in school, all of these things and all of these impressions, they leave marks, and we are formed into a being that can do certain things. But the truth of the reality is we can undo all of those imprints, and then we can become anything we want. So it's like a step-by-step becoming, or step-by-step remembering, and it's like removing, inviting new, removing, inviting new, removing, inviting new. And if you are looking to be a completely different version of yourself, then there's a lot of things that needs to be removed in order to make space for the new. And only you know how much do I need to change, and what are the areas that I need to detox. So a detox is not only a water fast or a juice fast. A detox is on every single layer of your being. And this is where a lot of people don't do what they know they need to do. So usually people know, okay, what is it that I need to do to make this kind of change? And they know the first couple of steps. We need to, okay, so personally, if I'm going to get in shape, so I've been eating a lot over Christmas. Maybe someone else been doing that. And I've been going through a very, very particular time the last 2 years. So my weight has been very fluctuating. So I lost a lot of weight, and now I gained weight again because I had to shift my diet. And I guess that's also another episode, because we don't want to make too long episodes. Now we're already up in 30 minutes. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a conversation about the length of and that's going to come under the people pleasing topic. But if we want to make changes in our lives, you can become anything. You can do anything. There's nothing you can't do. It's how much do you want it? How badly do you want the thing? How much does it mean to you to become this person? And I've personally known always that I'm going to find my way to become the person that I'm supposed to be. And what am I willing to let go in order to get that? Because, and giving up things that are not good for us or are not aligned for us, that only feels terrible in the beginning. Because then once you outgrow it, you realize, okay, I didn't need that in the first place. It was just so the things that are not good for us and that we do anyway is like it's a comfort thing, it's control, and it's almost like an addiction. It's something that we believe that we need that we don't. And as you shed layers during the multidimensional detox, there is a new person that arises within, and then the old layers kind of falls off. So that's why it's physical, it's identity work, it's the emotional work, the nervous system, it's all the different things, and we all have imprints more or less in all, and then you know where you have the more imprints. Okay, so that's it for today. So I would suggest do the little number thing, 1 to 10, and see where are you high in the numbers. I was high in all of them. I had 10 in all of them. So don't be discouraged if you're high. I was 10 in all of them. That's why I had to change my life completely. I was probably even higher than a 10 in all of them. And what else? On the 111 portal in January 11, I'm going to open a channel in the Telegram group where I will be available on the 111 portal most of the day, Thai time. And I will voice note with you. So you can send me either questions in English in written, or you can send a voice note, and I will respond to your message personally, directly, and we can have a conversation about anything that you want. You can ask anything, you can share anything. If there's a topic that you want me to expand on or you have questions about, if there's a personal situation that you would like a mirroring or a reflection on, anything. So I'm opening up the space on the 111 portal inside of the Telegram group. In the description below here on YouTube, you can find where you sign up to join the Telegram group. I will also start sharing more about my personal journey on my Instagram. And because I've opened the flood where I no longer have problems communicating by myself out to the ether, I managed to overcome that in 4 days, and I've had the block for 10 years. Could I've done that sooner? Probably. But that's how it was. I'm just blown away how I could have done that a million years ago. So what are you doing? Or what is it that you could be doing that would just change your life? Because I know this is going to change my life, because I'm going to show you the level of transformation that I can do in 108 days. In 108 days, I'm going to transform in front of you. And that is why I sent out the question about the length, because I want to know what you feel about it. And I've got some responses and asking for shorter. I'm not sure that that's possible, but I will try. But I'm going to talk about it in the people pleasing, because I'm not going to people please. This is just, we're too advanced for that. Nobody should people please. And I think it's better that I compile everything here, because if I don't share it here, I will have to share it somewhere else. And then it's going to get spread out all over the internet. So I haven't figured out if that's a good thing, or if that, because people pleasing can also be confused with identity fluidity. And I adapt identity fluidity, but I don't do people pleasing. Anyway, that's another topic. Sorry, we're over time here. Okay, so Multidimensional Detox is the gateway to everything that you have ever wanted. And I will open up the channel for the 111 portal in the Telegram group today, where you can start to post your questions. And then I will answer on the 11th, the 111 portal. Okay, lots of love. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Sarah Marie Spirit. It's also in the comments or in the description, because that's where I'm going to share my personal journey.